Welcome to the show. Bass Bonsai back in the house, and we're back on Fireball. It's not Fireball Friday, but I was doing a little rod and reel configurations. Figured I'd show you guys a few things, where to get some of this stuff if you have any questions on that, and what basically I came up with so far on my combos that I plan on using this next coming season as soon as it thaws out, right? So buckle up, hang on. This is going to be a good show. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, if you haven't checked out Bass Bonsai, there's basically right now we're on fishing kick, but there's pew pew videos, a lot of bonsai videos from back in the day. And if you are, you just found this is, I don't, sorry if this is your first BFS video where you're looking for like BFS related content. It necessarily isn't right here because I don't know. I've got these. I'm working on regular rod and reels right now, but I want to talk about how low one of mine will cast. But if you want all the info on BFS, you really should go back to almost the beginning, because I started out with like doing some BFS shootouts and shallow spools kind of before BFS was a thing. And there's way more information on BFS in previous videos than probably going to be, maybe not every video this season, but majority of what you're going to see this season isn't necessarily going to be pushing for the BFS or the swim baits. It's kind of going to be trying to fit all that together, to where it's kind of never ending like achievement you want to reach, to where you can go out there and they're hitting on this or that or whatever, this, that, or the other, right? So not in this video, but I thought I should throw that out there. And then if you guys also, because I've talked about this and I still can't figure it out, but I would hope that you guys, if you are looking for any content that I've put out in the search on YouTube, the first two you should put bass, bonsai, and then what you're looking for, BFS or reel or handle or, chatterbaits, spinnerbaits, what you're wanting to know about, and that should bring you to a lot of the videos where I was fishing that thing, or I'm here like talking about it kind of thing, or modifications, because the algorithm hates bass and bonsai on YouTube. I've done it several times. Like I'll be honest, just the other day my truck had to go to the shop, so I popped in a place that I don't even think they'd ever had anybody click on the YouTube on their TV, on the waiting deal, and I found it. It was there, but it took like, I don't know, 40 to 50 scrolls over before I found a bass and bonsai video without, searching bass bonsai kind of thing. I think I just typed in bass fishing or something like that. I didn't put bonsai, but bonsai is the key word in bass fishing to find a lot of my videos. If you're you're just wanting to kind of search for certain things, but you wouldn't mind, and it'll show you other guys too that's done chatterbait, spinnerbaits, that kind of stuff, but it'll throw my videos in on that mix. Now, usually once you've found my channel and you've clicked on a few of my videos, then it will you'll pop up more in your own like personal algorithm thing. But it's kind of strange if you've not paid much attention to how, like if you guys have Facebook, if you have YouTube, if you have like, it's real quick to pinpoint, the exact thing you're looking for. Like you type in battery of any kind, next thing you know, all the advertisements, all the searches, things, it'll be throwing stuff related to batteries in, even if you don't use it that time around, that kind of thing. So without further ado, before I go in, and we're going to talk about these three reels while they're sitting here. My other reels are up on the rods right at the moment. I've got all this stuff sitting here, and I'm going to tell you some about how you get it, and that you should never throw away any fishing related nut, washer, screws, all that, right? You guys know that, right? Keep all that stuff. So if you follow the channel, if you don't, I'll try to explain it. I've been trying to put together some rod and reel combos. I've kind of evolved into the high-end stuff, not because I have to have it to catch fish, but man, it sure is nice having a little higher-end stuff. And like me and Charles talked about, we're getting older. I've literally got, hopefully, around 11 years before retirement. So I'm looking forward to some of these, maybe, possibly. I'm not a collector, so some of these will be gone and out of the way. But some of this kind of stuff will be with me after I retire. And some of this higher-end stuff, hopefully, could, possibly, should last the rest of the time I will be fishing. So why not kind of get some of the higher-end stuff, right? Start heading that way, at least on a few things. Now, in all honesty, 3 to 5 years, there's almost a new technology. There's a different blank material. Like now they've got, well, between Shimano, Loomis, and Megabass, maybe a couple other brands, like every 3 to 5 years, they come out with a new way to weave the graphite, a new little way to condense it, or nanotech stuff. So yes, probably everything will be outdated, but it could still work. And I've also tried for myself and you guys to look for cheaper alternatives that are also close to that quality, or they may not last as long, but for those few years you can get them and get the use out of them, and they're way cheaper and all that kind of stuff. So I'll touch a little bit on that. But right now, those that follow the channel, the last reel I picked up, I kind of excited about, kind of not excited about. I did get out. I've been doing some little test casting just in the yard. No, I can cast as hard as I want to, but you can't really find out a lot doing, fishing for grass carp in your front yard. It's not going to do a lot for you. But I knew right off the bat what reel it would go on, and that's what reel I put it on. And I only made one slight change to it. But so today I just put some cork knobs on it. And I think I'm just going to leave it like that. This is the blade. F5, 6/8. But man, this reel, everything is pretty much good about it. There's only a few bads. Let's go over the bads of the price. If you're afraid to buy something from Japan, it's like what, $750 for that 24 Steez SVTW. The fact you can't actually adjust that spool any which way, shape, or form through that access that's bad. So the price, that, and I haven't decided on the finish yet. I haven't decided if that finish is a good or bad thing. Overall, it feels pretty good. I don't think it does a great job of, it feels a little cooler than some of the other reels in cold weather. It may not be the greatest thing to be holding on to, but I don't think it's going to be bad. It marks up, but it's not as bad as some of the other reels. Ruger RMX group? No, I'm not. I don't think I'm on any Facebook. I don't think I'm hardly on any Facebook groups now. I was on a few different the reef or saltwater reef tank forums, stuff like that, but I don't even know if I might be on a few fishing ones still, like Average Joe's and a couple others, but I don't think I'm on any of the pew pew stuff. So this is just kind of a clean look. Other than putting line on it, I just put these cork knobs, and these were the ones that were shaped a little different. The inside was kind of poking out a little more. So I trimmed them up, cleaned them today before I put them on. That is the stock everything. So it's got a good clean look. It all does. It goes very good together, since this thing does have the cork on the blade. Very capable of casting a half-ounce baits and zinging them just as far as my other combos will. But then also, in which most of my combos will throw pretty low. But this little dude, I can throw that. If you guys, you'd have to remember what my casting deal is out front. I kind of start in the driveway and I cast out to the middle of the road is where, be it when I'm BFS stuff. But that's basically a 16th ounce crappie jig with the thing. I think it does weigh like 2.4 grams or something. But I can cast that like I've been in all my other videos, whether I'm casting shaky head deals and trying to hit just the other side of the road, and a lot of BFS stuff, I'm trying to throw that 1 gram trout magnet in the middle of the road. Well, this combo because that's a 32 millimeter spool, but pretty light. The spool itself, I think, is under 10 grams. But even on the blade, which is, like I mentioned, a 6/8, it's not far from a BFS rod. I can hit right at the middle of the road with that bait. So the new reel will be able to throw, you can throw them lighter, probably 1/8 ounce jig, probably anything 1/8 ounce. Then you're going to put soft plastic on it, or anything 1/4 ounce. You'll be able to zip it like nobody's business. Cast as long as far as you want with that. It's definitely, I think, a little on that. It's right there with, or just exceeds the Steve's Limited shallow spools. So then I did something crazy. Now, if you guys remember, I'll just show you this one. I'll go a little out of order. So I didn't mess with the Tequila Baccarat, but I'd already changed it. So I'm going to show you kind of, we're starting reverse order now. That was basically the lightest combo I've had put together right at the moment on my high-end stuff. I've got an MG Extreme 2 on my Teton, and then the Habo Elite on my other Teton. But other than that, that one I just showed you was my lightest. But then, of course, I've got the Tequila Baccarat, which is a bad dude for, yeah, 3/4 ounce to 4 ounce. That sucker is my swim bait. I don't go, if this won't throw it, I'm not going to throw the swim bait. If I can't throw it with this 7-foot beast, Tequila Baccarat, I'm not going to throw it. But that HLC Steez, I'd already added the handle, handle and power knob assembly from Gomexus, Star Drag, and I've been debating about taking that knob and switching it, or the thumb bar, and switching out with one of my regular Steezes, because that and this drag star match up perfectly. And you cannot get that drag star anymore in that color. I don't know why. I got one. I thought they'd be able to get them, and I've never been able to get another one. But I'm thinking about putting that and that drag star on one of my Steez limited reels. I haven't decided for sure yet. But that's an awesome combo. Looks pretty good. There's some blue on that HLC. But then if you remember right, I had the full-size handle off the Lose on my Super Destroyer on another Steez Limited shallow spool, and I recently put down to an 80 millimeter just because I didn't like the 95. I still don't know if I'm gonna like this. I may end up going to somewhere 88 to 90, 85 to 90 basically. Not sure yet, but this has always been a good looking combo, whether this handle assembly is that short or a little bit longer or whatever. This has always been a beast of a deal, and this is a Super Destroyer F669. Very, very nice rod. This I thought would be an issue. Once you know what this is going to feel like, it's hard to explain. Like if you very first hit the water and your hands are dried out, you may have a grippage issue. Once you start fishing that rod, the grip issues go completely out the door. So lastly, I'm going to talk about this one, show it to you, and then I'll go into some of the stuff on what I still have left, why these are still sitting here, and what's going on kind of thing. And so yeah. So I don't know. A lot of you guys are going to think this thing looks ridiculous, but I just got a wild hair and went, let's just put something different on the Poison Adrena. Because if you remember right, I basically had this. Was on the Poison Adrena. This 7-to-1 though was on the Poison Adrena with that handle assembly, and I had the shallow spool in it, and I kind of came to the fact that I think the Poison Adrena works very well. Like the thing I think it totally excels at are the 1/2 and 3/4 ounce rattle traps, the bigger jerk baits. Like, so anything that's, you can throw the Vision 110s, but anything bigger, especially a little more weight, a little bigger, it's excellent for that. It'll still throw spinnerbaits, like it'll throw everything, but I think it really excels at just zinging some rattle traps out there, 3/4 ounce especially. So I'm like, well, maybe I need to put a little slower reel, stick with that 7-to-1, but just like it, not that it looked dull, but just to kind of sprucing it up a little bit. And I had all these parts just laying around. So I added, because if you know, the Poison Adrena has like these hits almost on all the wrappings. Those highlighter wraps are just that little hint of red. And then if you look right around the header, it's got the red right there. And then if you look, I'm going to try to skip past the thing I'm going to show you. If you look at what it says, the writing is in red. And I'm like, I'll just add a little red to the reel. So here's what I came up with. I took the 7-to-1 Steez Limited. I'd already had these couple red, and then I had these camo knobs. I could never find anything to go on, and I'm like, I'll just throw it on and see what we think. And then, of course, I already had that nut retainer. And I'll be honest, in person it looks good. Like this thing just looks, it looks good. It looks fine. Everything. It just looks like one of those. Maybe a little, a little bit out there, but it doesn't look too absurd to me. Because I'll show you an absurd reel. But anyway, this rod just everything about this, and I actually like these a little bit better. They're pretty much the same, but when I made these, I couldn't find this color in that full size. So if you look, these are just a size down from what those are. So I actually like that feel better. Like I've kind of got to the point now where I need at least this, or like these are roughly the same size as the ones I buy in cork, and then I shave them down to try to match that exact size. For just my regular bass fishing, I like that firm, bigger feel than just what, whether, and here's a handle assembly that came off I think it came off this one. Yeah, it originally came with the black one, but just those, I just don't like that. I think, and I've got some just regular black ones. I think they may be EVA though coming, that may be this size or just a touch bigger, but you really can't find anything that is basically between this and those huge Gomexus ones. There's not a lot of options, but these you can get in a lot of different colors. I mean, you can get, no, these are dirty. I think that's a brand new one. But you can get blue, which would go good with any of you if you're running like any white rods, blue, something with blue accents. You can get the purple ones. Of course, you can get camo. And the other camo ones I got are actually funkier. They're more cheap. I don't know if you guys can tell me if you can spot the difference. Where's my other camo one? And they do have a few different camo colors you can get. But see this camo? And then there were these. I know that's the same colors, but there's just something about these that in person they look a little cheaper. There's something about them that's a little off. But anyway, I had them. I had the parts. And yes, almost everything you're looking at on accessories can be found on AliExpress, like dirt cheap compared to what you're going to go if you go to Hedgehog Studios, some of these other places. So I think this looks very good. I need to redo my, I think this one may be one of the ones that's due for, I'm going to redo a 20-pound braid. That braid's faded out. Camo braid, camo knobs, a little bit of red hits for the red accents. In person, they stand out just a touch more in person, but it's a real subtle silver black with some red rod. But then that, bam, slap that on it. Like we're out for combat. We're not jacking around. If they can make combat sticks, I can put a combat combo together. So I'll be honest, this one right here, it's amazing what it can do, and it's just got that. I'm kind of at a point where I'm liking this kind of just a cork and a very, kind of muted gold, not crazy bright. Has kind of that just a very classy, that JDM styling, looks very good. You add the cork, it's not like you're going crazy. You just added some cork, you got more grip. Feels excellent. This thing, if you guys fill these in person, this rod, if you're like, man, you can go out and throw like half, 3/8, half-ounce chatterbaits. You can throw a lot of stuff and like have the power, not crazy jigs, but you can set, decent sized kind of jig hooks even, and it's got power, but it's so light. I think this rod's it's like 97 or 98 grams, and then this reel is it's got almost a full size, not full size, but I don't know. It almost feels a little bigger it feels the same roughly as a Zillion. Maybe it's like more short, compact, but as far as wide, it's just got a good feel, but it's very lightweight. So far, I am impressed with just that I like it. I'm not impressed for what they are selling it for, and the fact I can't do that extra adjustment. I don't think it'll technically do anything more than the Steez Limited shallow spool, other than it's a touch lighter. And well, we'll see. I just have to get out on the water and actually testing them all out. So any questions? Let me read comments and then I'll go and we'll talk about some of this other stuff where you can get it or whatever. Yeah, I do too. But John, I can't bring it on any live streams because anytime I show that, they would kick it off. They don't allow the pews on any kind of live stream. So that's why you never see me hardly doing that anymore. And when I go and I take the time, just like this video. This video is just me doing live stream, which is fine. I'm just taking the time. I'm talking to you. I'm down here doing what I'd normally be doing. But anytime if I have to go ahead and put that video together and I've got to record it and then I've got to edit and I got to put it together, that could be an extra 2 hours of my time. And I was doing it with the pew stuff. No matter what comes out, if it's a GUN related video, they will technically hammer your views, the algorithms and stuff like that. And here's the thing. If you're just going like to the range, or if I'm just showing you something, an unboxing of one I just got is fine. I can literally, just like I'm showing you on these, how to modify them. I'm not like trying to make them, you know, something, but with the GUN on YouTube, all I have to do is say if this was a GLOCK and I just physically were to show you how to take out the mag release or something to put just a different colored one in, they knock that because that's a modifying of a firearms. So it's like insane. I'm like, I'm not going to do any more. I'm not going to be that tuber. I'm going to be a bass YouTuber, or at some time way down the line, maybe bonsai, but you probably will never see me trying to put those out because it is honestly, it is and was our government's way of just trying to basically just hush and put all that out of the way for the honest, you know, the law-abiding person that just wants to get one for whatever reason, for self-defense and whatever, and just want to add a few things, just like we do the reels, you know, kind of trick it out, make it look cool, and, you know, be cool. Just like these reels, no matter what I do to them, they're not going to perform any better than what the manufacturer intended them to. You might be able to get some stuff squeezed out of them here and there, but the purpose of what they're meant for, all that different modifying stuff. There's only one thing you guys know as well as I do that would technically is illegal, is to take it to where they go and they go. That's the only thing. And so, yeah, video showing you how to do that, that is what should be banned. All the other stuff is ridiculous in my opinion, but I'm out of it. I'm like, I'm staying out of that crap. Oh yeah, if anybody's watching also, you guys that are commenting, feel free to comment. At least just say hi or let me know if I don't recognize your name or your first time, if this is the first time you've actually watched the Bass and Bonsai live or a video or whatever. Because I'll be honest, I need to get organized and put together times when I come out and do live streams. I just jump out and put out a video when I'm basically, I wanted to do this one before I'm getting everything put up now, to just kind of show you how I do it. I lay out, I just picked up these microfiber cloths. You can buy the whole roll. Well, I got a roll right here. One of my stops, the lady had them. She was redoing something in their office, and I'm like, where'd you get that at? Because I try to avoid Walmart like the plague if I can keep away from it. But she's like, oh, I forget what she said. It wasn't Walmart, but I bet Walmart has those. And you just get the whole roll for like 20 bucks. I'm going to say it's 50 or 100. Or maybe it's 50. I don't know. But that is a whole bunch of little, I call them wash rags. Or back in the day when I was real redneck, I called them wash rags. But they're just microfiber that you can actually rewash. I haven't even, rewash. My redneck's kicking in. But they come in very handy for everything. You can just lay one down, do that. Before that, I always just had the old faithful paper towels, and I still got those. But then I actually hate these things now. Once they started doing that half a sheet thing, it never fails. I'm still a fan of the old original paper towels. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I wanted to put this stuff up, and I figured, well, I'll make a video just showing like some of the accumulation that I've accumulated over the years of messing with fishing rod and reels. Like right here, and I just pulled out to get the one for the steez that I put on the Poison Adrena. I've got all these. Some are oddball, some are just regular, and I know I probably should keep them separated. They're liable to get scratched or whatever, but they seem to, there's not enough pressure to like scratch them up. But I just have a bunch of the ones that I've had over for the nut retainer. Some of the nuts are in there, all that kind of stuff. different bearings. These are the regular bearings that like would go on the Daiwa and Shimano knobs, and a lot of them use that same bearing internally in a few places. But then I also have these that I need to put back up. Some of these AliExpress ones you'll get come with these little or they're a little over half. So let me try to show you. So hopefully you guys can see the difference. Let me show you how the package. Gosh, dang it! I'll put these up in a minute. So some of these handle assemblies you'll buy already put together from AliExpress, and they could come kind of wonky. So here's your standard, like what Shimano and Daiwa would take, and they usually take one on each side of the knob, you know, like as in this. And they'll come with the bushings, and you guys have all seen the bushings that, if I can find a bushing. They'll come with bushing instead of bearings because it saves them a ton of money. I don't know why. I don't know how much these could possibly cost, but surely you could put as many bearings as a reel will hold and add that extra $5 to it. But some of these AliExpress ones, if you can see the difference, they will come with like two in one side and then another one on the other. And I don't know if they honestly did that back originally to so they could throw out a higher bearing count on these reels they're putting out, like 16 ball bearings, you know, and like it was some great thing. But so I keep those separate, and I do keep them just because you never know when I'm going to come across a set of those knobs that I need to modify to make it work or whatever. So let me make sure I don't get these mixed up. But I do try to keep them separate so I don't have to sit and dig around, you know, and dig the wider ones out. Or I thought I grabbed a wider one, and I'm wondering why I got so much slop in a reel, all that kind of stuff. And then you can buy the little spacers and all that kind of stuff. I'll get ready to show you here in a second. As I'm putting it up, you know, you can get all these different, excuse me, shims from these real little bitty ones like that. These are the better ones, honestly, because what happened, you can get those, and some of these they make, they work and they will work, but if you some reels and handles, they don't go into a lot of, like, see that? Every once in a while I'll try to find one that's a bad one. It's not bad, but they work, but you got to be careful because then it kind of creates a little drag. I think this one might be one that's kind of like that. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see how much more material there is on the outside. So some of these will go flush up against the bearing, and they actually hit the inner and the outer race. They hit both parts, so it will create drag. You won't be as free. So, like, say if you needed two spacers, you put one. You know, let me get one. I got enough handles and crap laying around. Hang on. Let's use this one. I've finally found out what this was. I thought this was off of the 7-to-1, the LTD Limited. I thought it was this handle, and I was wondering why it wasn't matching up with the others. But it's a little different. If you guys remember right, I had the Zillion 10, that black with some blue highlights, and it's a little longer. This is off the one I just showed you that now I have all the red and the camo stuff on it. It came with a black handle. This is off that Zillion 10. I don't know why I just left it laying out, but it's a little bit longer, a little just more of a true, like almost looks painted black anodization that's not like that kind of blackish gray. But anyway, I needed that. What am I doing? So when you go to put on one of your knobs, and like say if you've got some gappage right here, the best bet to do that is to whatever one's going to the bearing on the inside of the bearing. And a lot of people tell you could run one on the inside first, like so you could, if it'll allow it, put one on the inside, then put your two, because these are the ones that take two bearings, then put two bearings, and then put one on the outside. But if like me, usually what I do, and all you really have to do, is put the one thicker one up first, and then the thinner one, thinner as in up and down. put it on to where it's going to be the one that's hitting the bearings on the handle assembly. Now I don't have any bearings in there, but then that'll let you get, and if you needed more, make sure that skinniest one stays up in here, you know, goes on last, and then just add some, and it doesn't really matter. As long as they're not so big they're like sticking out somewhere, you know, as long as they can fit inside of that, they're going to be good enough spacers. And there's a bunch of them that you can, well, from AliExpress, there's a bunch of them all over and all that kind of stuff. I guess I could try to show you. I have a very horrible caliber. I found it though. But if you guys remember right, the biggest thing, if you get Abu Garcia, the handles will interchange whole assemblies. You can't switch out the knobs. And I guess I should, well, I got two just happen to be right here. I'll kind of show you why. They don't meet like almost any way, but the biggest thing is they've got a bigger diameter than where the bearing set. So you would have to try to get, see how much bigger that is. So 4.0, and then these are almost 5. So like way different for the bearings. I've asked a few people, and we were trying to get measurements. I was going to try to see if there's a way to adapt to where this handle assembly would take, you know, if they could make a bearing or whatever, or vice versa, if there's a way to take these and basically just add thicker, you know, something to and I'm sure there's a possible way to do it, but you're almost better off just go get a whole different handle assembly. But so if you're like, well, what sizes are there? Because in there also you can get them not only, you know, bigger or smaller as far as the circumference, how big they are around. You can also get them in different thicknesses. I don't know if I can even see enough. And then here's some of my oddball bearings I just left in here with these, but I'll try to see if I can find a thick one. They make them pretty thin. They don't really, once they're this small, they don't make them too thick, because it just is easy to add a couple together as to try to worry about making and ordering thicker ones. Yeah, they don't really. And then some of these look, some of these are, because I haven't really separated them, some of these are more like Abu Garcia. I think that one is. You can tell if you look at two together, you can kind of tell they're different. But so, you know, the inner part is 4 millimeters roughly, and then the outside on these real super skinny ones is like 6, 5, 9, 6. And you're talking thin. I don't even know if this thing, how much it'll read. Well, that says 0.3, but like I can slide that in and out of there. So, whoa, it fell down. Anyway, handy to get those. They do carry them. Like you can get them from a lot of different places. And what else? The Drag Stars, this is just a stock one if you guys are ever curious. The Steez Limited, and I'm sure it'll probably be in the CTSV Limited. That Drag Star, I guess in order to help down on a little bit of the cost, that's just a plastic star that's coated with pretty much, it's not, well, yeah, actually it is. I think it is pretty much the exact same paint. You can see on this one too. That's what they've done on the reel. So they just painted a plastic drag star. I don't even think it's Zion. I don't even think it's any fancy. Just to help, you know, with keeping the weight down and to probably save money on getting it put out there where it could, you know, sell it affordably, I guess. I haven't really found, though, a star that I like better than that, because it is, they did paint it that color and that looks good, and they got the little black in between it. Because I had tried this one, and it's just too shiny. You almost need like I don't know, unless you were changing out to gold. And this here, these gold highlights on here, they actually are for Steez. That's how closely related a lot of this stuff is. That's why a lot of people say, well, the new the new Steez is more like the Zillion. I'm like, yeah, but the Zillion wasn't far. You know, it's not a far stretch away from the Steez. Uh, you know, they changed some stuff, but you know, when these parts on the outside will interchange, there's not a huge difference. But anyway, it's going to get loud. Hang on, and then I'll finish up this video. Engineering, mechanics, and shooting lead really fast at still targets just fun as hell. I'm in the Midwest, Missouri, as Obama calls it, but he's busy hanging out with Jennifer Aniston now, so it's Missouri. Some people say misery. But yeah. And let me start putting some of this stuff up. So I was in the process of putting all of my junk up so I could probably get out. I did tie on my new line, but I couldn't tell you much. Other than I did stick a tree. Here, let's talk about that real quick. And it didn't break, but it did get pretty well a little banged up. Let me try to show you. I'll get some of the line out. So if you remember right, I don't know if that'll come across or not. I don't think it'll be able to show. I'm close to it. Zooming in, you won't be able to see it. But I was out test casting, threw right into a tree. I mean, it was caught, and I pulled pretty hard, and the line did not break. And it's got some gouging up in here. I can feel it. So that new P line that I'm seeing if I like as much as the P line original. I'm not sure about abrasion resistance, but it's pretty strong. I would have to have thrown my P line into that, which I did, my old nasty stuff, and I don't remember it being quite chewed like that. But I mean, this one was stuck pretty good. But I'm still on the hunt for trying to see if I like that line, if there's any line copolymer that I feel is as good or better than the P line original, in case I, didn't have that option to get it, or had an option that was right here locally. I didn't have to wait. I'm like getting ready to go fishing and realize I'm out of whatever pound test, or it's a pound test I don't have and I decided I want. I don't have to wait that week or whatever it may take to get it from Tackle Warehouse. I can just grab it right here at Bass Pro, since they're literally getting to the vehicle will take probably longer than actually the drive to Bass Pro from my place. So, well, it depends on the lights. You guys know that deal. You do get on the highway on one exit, you get off 2 exits later. So yeah, if you guys are familiar with the Bass Pro in Independence, Missouri, so that's right off of I-70. Man, I had a ton of stuff out. That's the only downside to using these microfibers over paper towels. Paper towels, they scoot up easier, but it makes them easier to just fall away. I like this microfiber stuff. It's kind of also works like it's actually better than like the yoga mat. You guys probably seen how you get a cheap, go to Five Below and get a yoga mat and lay down. It's softer and all that, but for working on stuff, this light blue kind of highlights everything you're working on. So one little whatever could be right there and you'll see it, to where sometimes other stuff, it could be, especially this brown like on this table, I could be looking right at it and not even see it, kind of thing. So I also have this. I bought that. I don't know why. Well, I know why. I thought, based on having a Revo Aurora, that, man, this kind of that crazy rainbow stuff, man, they just got it right on the Abu Garcia and the Auroras. They just look cool, those reels. But this, trying to put this on anything, just looks nasty to me. I wish it was more gold than purple, and that's probably what it is. There's more of that purpley color than the gold or blue, and the Auroras were good about having a lot of blue and gold on them, on that like titanium, whatever they call that stuff. So on AliExpress, you can get like the 3 different styles. I call it 3. You can actually get more like on the Shimano, but like as far as Daiwa goes, you can get this kind of style, but then I believe you can get both instead of having that like nut that so you pop it on, it's like spring loaded, so it doesn't spread out from the reel as you're loosening it, or when you're tightening it, the gap doesn't change. It's just spring loaded, so as you're tightening or loosening the drag, it doesn't look like it changed any. But they have these where they don't have that now, actually have the threads. I know I've seen these you can get, and I want to say I've saw those also, but not necessarily these colors. And this one I need to actually sand and repolish. Somehow it's taken a little bit of a beating for some reason. But I need to polish it up. But like the colors, and this is one, if you guys can look, it's got like I don't know, it's just got a whole different look that you can't get anymore. But like the silver and the black ones look pretty good, and they've got a bunch of different colors, that kind of stuff. And technically they also have, I found the ones like the old school ones that, well, I don't have a way to show you what they were like anymore, but I'd had it one time on I believe it was the Edo I'd had on it. They're the ones just like what the Abu Garcias have now, like my MG Extreme 2. So they got like a aluminum part that screws on, but then they got like carbon fiber star itself onto that aluminum center. And they've got some of those are available again. There for a while, they were gone for a long time. I could never find them on there anyway. And then of course, if you want to change out spools, if some of you guys, if you have an older Daiwa like the one I just showed you, or any Daiwa that takes this 34 millimeter spool, a lot of the older Zillions, the Steezes, the TDZs, a bunch of reels. I think even the Fuego, like there's a bunch of Daiwa reels that take what this spool will fit, and you can get that off AliExpress for $34. It does have the boost and comes with 2 very nice bearings. There's the other bearing right here. But that is a very good deal for $35. Right now they're actually a touch cheaper, like $32.50 or something, but awesome deal there on AliExpress. You can get, that's where the Gomexus, the big one I showed you, the whole handle assembly, you can get on there for $45 to $55. It just depends on any given sale. That's knobs and all. You buy just the knobs for like $20. You're better off to buy the whole assembly. Find one you like. They've got it with just a black handle and other different colored knobs. There's different ways you can order those. But like just that style of handle, they have an 88 millimeter, 95 or 98, 110, 120, or a lot of different sizes. But then they're also having a lot of different colors. You can get it in like the kind of just what that one is like a regular looking aluminum. You can get it in like anodized pink, black, gold, several different colors on that one. I guess I should grab it again to show you. I've got 2 of the 98 millimeter ones coming that are just this exact color, and I got another set of these knobs coming. I was just gonna see if I want to switch, but that handle assembly does look pretty nice. And then you can go on there and you can get different the nuts that go on here. You can get, I think, gold, red, and a couple others, but that whole handle assembly was like, I think I paid $54. I think right now they're on sale for $52 or $48, or I don't know, but they're definitely worth the money. It feels good and sturdy. It's a nice deal. Comes with all the stuff, the wrenches, and so it comes with, I think, enough of the silver to add whatever. Let me look. So I think you can add whichever one your reel takes, because I want to say that it comes with, I don't even remember now, but it came with this for sure and the one that's on it, and there may be more laying around here somewhere. So you can put it on different reels. and the little wrench to do it, the little wrench to take off those if you wanted to pull out the off the knobs for maintenance. And I'm pretty sure, going by how these are, that this is a regular Shimano Daiwa style. And then you can see how well those are the stock stuff that it came on. Very tight tolerances, very just nice. You know, as nice as the DRT stuff and all that? Probably. I mean, who knows? I don't know. I don't know who's making their stuff for them. I've never actually seen any of that stuff in person except for these I ordered that we never got around to using them. But I'm tempted to put them on something at some point just to see what I think. I don't know if, how, when, where, why, or whatever. Maybe I'll put them on this one. You guys want to watch and see? Here's the thing. I could make these work on these, but I'll show you what I'd have to do. So if you guys are like, dude, Charlie, I love the idea of those DRT deals. They're like, what are they, 25, 30 bucks? But the 88 millimeter, like all those crazy varial knobs, handle like 200 bucks, 250 or whatever, like that part gets to be kind of on the insane stuff. These, almost all these from AliExpress just slide right off. I have seen those camel ones I showed you earlier. They are on. I couldn't get them off, so I had to stick with they come on a black frames, so I left them alone. But a guy could literally get, whether it be these, because you can get different lengths of you can get all kinds of different handle assemblies from AliExpress, and you can also get somewhere it's around here. I could maybe put, you know what, I ought to see if I can get to where I can put them on this, because somewhere around here I got an old Abu Garcia crazy power. Hang on, time out. Take a shot of, or drink a Fireball or whatever. I'm gonna look at something. I'm gonna find something. I think I got it right there. Okay, here it is. Yeah, I found it the other day when I was digging around. I will never use this. It is way too beyond for me. Let me just show you this thing. Let me get this out here and leave it in the mix for right now. So I know I'm still in the middle of putting up stuff, but we got to go crazy here in this live stream. So here is, I believe that's 100 millimeter. Is it? Let me measure it. Oh boy, look out! Tequila Baccarat getting cracked. So let me see just how you measure the inside to the inside. We just need to be close. Wow, that's a long spread. Okay, so that's going to be 100. So let me get it to 100. And I like this right where it is on this swim bait rod tequila. I would not want to go any longer. So like 110, 100 and whatever. So it says 100. Now, I thought they showed that they measured it inside to inside, but it's like 110 if you go outside to outside, which that's a possibility what they're calling them. You just got to double check when you're looking at something on AliExpress, what it tells you it is. Look and see if there's a diagram of them showing you like lines and showing you where they're measuring from, because some are notorious for measuring here and calling it a 90 millimeter and it's an 8, or 95 and it's only an 85 or stuff like that. You know, you just got to be careful. But this one, I'm going from inside to inside on each shaft, and when I put it right to 100, that's where it measures. Hopefully you guys can see that. So that is, in my books, my opinion, 100 millimeter. But look how long these are. 100 millimeter handle assembly with these. I'm going to just go from where the bearing, where the end would be, roughly 50 millimeter knobs. So those are big. So let me get this propped up here. Let me grab one of these. So these suckers are pretty big, in case you're wondering, like, well, how big are those? These are like 34, almost 35 millimeters that way. They're 45 something, almost 46 that way. And then they're pretty wide also, 40, or sorry, 40. I saw the 4. 18 and a half, but they're a little skinny really where you actually grab. So yeah, pretty big. Years ago, I bought the little TRV, which is actually the same size, if you guys don't know, the MG Extreme 2. And it was for saltwater, and it came with this thing. That is a huge, honking, very thick power handle assembly. I'd robbed the end caps off for something else quite a few years ago, but it's still got bearings in it and all that kind of stuff. I think did I rob bearings? I don't think I did. So anyway, I was just curious myself the other day. I was like, I don't know, that handle assembly is definitely longer, I think. So yeah, it is. I'll put it under here. Look how much longer it is. Let's measure it. Close to 0? Yeah, close enough. So this sucker, if in case you're looking on AliExpress, you're like, well, what do I want 110? Do I want to? This thing only goes to 110, and it is bigger. Okay, so 110, almost, whatever. So let's see, it's roughly right there, about halfway through the thing. I want to say it's probably going to be 100 and I don't think it's 120. I think it's like 115. But that thing is huge for length. Now the knobs are actually a little bit don't stick out as far. So if you put this part, even at that, so they're not going to be as big as that. So what I could do, I think these are their own thing. I don't think they'll interchange and fit on that. But I'm going to play with that, and not probably in this video, but I may see if I can take these and put them on my 90 whatever. I don't plan on using this thing for anything. Yeah, this guy. I don't think they'll interchange because I think these have crazy long shafts built into them. Look how thick that is. But what I'll probably do, I've offered this if anybody wanted to, buy it. I don't even know for what. Basically, just for sure cover my shipping if you're not local, kind of deal. Otherwise, I'll just sit here and hold it around. But I don't even know why anybody'd have a use for one of those. But what's funny is how little a reel this thing was on. It was on, I'll show you the exact size because I got this MG Extreme 2 that comes with the 80 millimeter. So that is the MG Extreme 2 that comes with the 80 millimeter, and there's the handle assembly that the TRV came with, and it had a drag clicker. The MG Extreme 2 didn't, but it does now. Whoa! Look out, Petton. But that's insane. So anyway, where was I at? Let me move these out of the way. I'm kind of got a couple other bigger. I'm kind of trying to see if I can find something like in between for the in between combos or whatever that, maybe a little bigger than these, but not that big. These I could use, but I would almost need to cut them down here just a little bit to where I could get them within range of then one of my knobs fitting on, because they fit right on. I can push them right on, no problem. Actually, I could probably go out and fish. Definitely if I glued them on, I'd be fine, but I don't have enough threads, so I would need to narrow them up a little bit if I wanted to go that way. But I'll just try to show you guys what I could get. That'd just be short enough, or I could look for different but something like that, a little assembly, and you could just get a handle assembly because they sell these for like $5 to $8 on AliExpress. Get something like that, whatever length you want to get a set of those, and they sell all this stuff. So anyway, that's what I may try to just get these rigged up on one of these handles, kind of find a length that's in between. I may try to see if I've got, because I do have I don't know if they would look good on these though. I don't know. Would that color go good with carbon fiber? Probably not. Doesn't look as good. But I was going to say I've got some of these other things in here that are the ones with like the circles on them, those are actually Abu Garcia insert things. So I could possibly rig. There's those big deals right there. Here we go. Hang on. Look at me. I'm digging. I'm finding stuff from way back. I'm on the Wayback Machine. Hang on. So I've just, these are like, there's so many different styles coming from AliExpress. I figure I guess we'll just take a deep dive on down the Wayback Machine. But so yeah, technically you could also just glue those into these. Like you could take something like this, glue this on to that one thing and glue that, you know, just enough to, because that comes, actually that could just pop in. So that pops in, maybe put a touch of glue, that way it stays in. And if you need to pull it out, you could always take, you know, some kind of like a hook or something to pull it out later. Just if you don't want to shave this down any on those handle assemblies like I got. And of course there's red, you can get all different colors, you can get all kinds of stuff. But then the Abu Garcia ones would fit on, because let me see. The regular ones you can tell right off the bat. No, they will go on. They just, you can tell the bearings won't fit. So here's those ones I robbed. I guess I must have taken them off what they go on. So actually I could put them back on. And it's always good to have a wheat penny laying around. You want to make sure it's a wheat penny because they just work better than the traditional pennies. I know somebody's like, you're just messing it up by putting marks on it because it's worth tons of money. I know. I've got, I don't know, 4 or 5 wheat pennies that I had. I used to have a whole bunch. My dad had a whole collection of them, but I don't know what happened to them. I think my mom may still have them. So yeah, that's what it originally was. And then it had, of course, one of those red deals like this on it. And so it's still there, still crazy. If somebody really wanted to, you know, a lot bigger, because like look how thick that aluminum is to, and that's a pretty thick aluminum. This is like off of the Zillion or a, you know, standard Daiwa. That's a lot thicker aluminum. So what I was thinking though is I could put these, which are Abu Garcia, because you can tell they take a bigger, is the outside part the same? No, I think it's whoa, don't, about lost that. Get up there. I don't know where all my stuff. Let me look. Hang on, I'm thinking out. I'm thinking, and every once in a while I'm thinking out loud, but I think I'm missing a few different things and pieces and parts. So these were like the small Abu Garcia. So like if you were wanting to get, they make it lightweight. See, those don't reach enough either. Let me see. But technically, I'd have to see. Let's just take this apart. I know I'm going full dive with you guys because these effect are sticking up so much. I was thinking if I could trim it down a little and they would match up, but I don't think they would look as good on this handle as they do like a metal, in my opinion. I don't think they look as good as if they were on an actual aluminum. But I don't know. I got my own curiosity going right now. Nothing got put up, by the way. What are you doing? Where are you going?
We're going to, Dad gave the kids money to go do something.
All right, I'm still doing a little live stream. Money to what? Go do something fun?
So we asked Vanessa, but she says she already has plans. Did you guys go to the gym?
No. She came home and was like, I don't want to go to the gym. I'm like, guess what? I don't either. I said, we don't have to go.
I'm gonna go play mini golf, I guess.
Mini golf? He's going with you, Tiger Woods? Wayne Gretzky's going to play mini golf with Tiger
Valencia
Woods. That thing's got
Woods.
bushings on it. I could at least put bearings in it. Look at that monster. So, what are you looking at? I didn't break nothing. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to try to get out of here, but I keep finding something else I want to look up and see how well it fits. This thing has some nasty smelling. Like, if you guys ever change rear end grease in a car, that old nasty stuff is probably 6, 8 years old or however long been trapped in there. It just stinks. It's like a funky grease. It's not good. I'm just curious how different. So here's the regular Abu Garcia, and look at that crazy power. My God. Way different. Nothing's going to work there other than I might try to find some bearings. Even though I'm not going to use this, I got part of me is like, we should put bearings in that and make it better. Worst case, I'll at least spray it. Not spray it, but I'll clean it. And I will just put some some real oil on it to where it's a little better. And then just put it up in case, who knows, somebody at some point in their life may need this, but they don't need it now. So let me get this back together. Come on. I gotta get this to turn. Gosh dang it.
I'm gonna need you to fix this.
What'd you do? Well, you guys tear up stuff and then you want me to fix it. Can't you see I'm in the middle of tearing up my own stuff over here? I'm in the middle of tearing up my own stuff. Yeah, we'll just slap it back together for now. What did you break?
Somebody messed up this.
What do you got? That, what you call it, jewelry? What do they call that?
Well, this is a rosary that belonged to my grandma.
Oh, it's a rosary. Goof. Let me look at it. Got it?
I think so.
Look at you. You fixed it.
Well, it probably could still use a good squeezing.
That's what she said. Oh, wait, that's you.
I think it's good. I got it.
Okay, perfect.
Nope.
Yeah, I got it. Whoop. Came right apart. Hang on, guys. She's in the middle of like having a nervous breakdown over here. Where'd it go? Put it there and hand it to me. We're gonna get it with these right here. You guys just little time out. Take your little time. Take a little shot of Fireball or a little sip.
This. See that little hook there?
Yeah, that's why we
That
have
last one needs to go
where
on that hook as well, and then that needs to be closed.
Okay, let's see that. I guess I could show you guys slightly what I'm trying to do here. But no, you don't need to look. Okay. Got it on. And there you go, ma'am. Did it with my hands. That thing is kind of, that metal's kind of soft. But anyway, where was I? Oh,
Yeah, you did a real good job.
I just fixed it. You sure didn't come apart somewhere else? Oh, that metal is like toast. Did you pull on it or what?
Oh, I just picked it up and it came right out.
Let me look at what's going on here then. Oh, it's the whole thing, you goofy. Look. Hang on. Time out, guys. Take a shot of Fireball. I'm going to straighten this woman out. Now, here. What's happening? Okay, look. You told me to put it here and there. Look at all those. Look at that one. See how that's ready to fall out?
Oh, yeah.
Look at that one. See how that's ready to fall? Look at that one. That's the one you said. That ain't the one I just did. I did, I think, one of these other. So I don't know what's going on. But you leave it with me. I'm doing a live stream. Otherwise, I'd fix it. But
Proceed
I will-
with caution, please.
yeah, I will have to probably, I don't know, tighten up. It looks like a bunch to get that thing back together. All right, I'm back. Time for a big chug of Fireball. I ain't going no miniature golf stuff. We got work to do, boys. Got time to mess around. Chrome Illusion Quantum used to have a reel with that color. Oh yeah, the PT tours and the tours or whatever. Yeah, they had like the blue with that titanium finish, and then they had the other ones. And I always wanted to get one of those spinning reels with that finish. That smallest. Was it the Energy? No, was it the Energies that were that color? But I wanted to get that spinning reel in that color. But for some reason, that right there just does not go with anything. I just have never. But yeah, the Quantum and then the Abu Garcia reels that had that. Yeah, organized chaos. Believe it or not, everything down here, I know where it's at. Nobody else could find it, but it's right where I want it to be. So let me put everything up while I'm here. These I got to go. I do have to put, this is the stuff that came off the Steez that I got to put in the Steez box. But that's where this handle assembly was in the Steez box. And I was getting ready to actually take the Steez, this one. I was almost going to, put it back to stock and then see if Brew Tank wanted to buy it. But then I'm like, no, I'm going to deck her out. But I was almost ready to just put the stock handle assembly back on it and send it down the road. And I'm like, no, these, as of right now, I still think this may be the best Steez ever made, these Steez Limited. Because I'm not sure if that new 24 Steez is going to, it may be once I get used to it. But the fact I can't adjust that little tension deal. And you can put, they don't, there would be no need to, but I did put, this one fits on the brand new one, which is off the pretty much any Steez. So this aftermarket one, you could put it on if you just wanted to add a highlight. It's not going to affect anything different because that thing is just a cap now on the Steez 24. But yeah, I need to put those back in the box of, I think it's this one. No, that's not it. This one right here. I think I'd got one of these reels used and it didn't come with the guy at Captain didn't include this thing, which I never use anyway, but I'm gonna just toss this stuff in here so I don't lose it if and when I do go to sell the reel. I still got the stuff for it, but Limited SVTW 1000H is the one I was gonna get rid of, but no, I'm keeping it. I got two of the Shawless Spools, the regular one, and then the new one, and then the Hyper Long Cast. What would that look like on the... What's funny is it wouldn't look bad. I mean, it worked just fine. That's the same handle. Could slap that baby on. That Zillion, and you pretty much got a way maybe easier to grab hold of handle assembly than the Zillion HD, or about the same. So I may do that. But if you guys like these, or basically any of those DRT knobs that you can get fairly cheap, you can, it looks like you modify them to fit. You may have to trim them down a little bit to get them to What are the odds? No, they won't work. I'm just curious what the odds are that, I mean, we're in the middle, we're checking stuff. I've taken these off and on like half a dozen times already. Because these are just little, they're not any longer, I don't think. No, but they would also push in, and that would actually probably be hard to get out. No. I'm just tinkering right now to see if anything pops to mind that I don't have any other. Like typically doesn't matter. That's Abu Garcia too. You can kind of tell almost everything Abu Garcia had those little rivet looking things cut out in it. So technically I could go ahead and put this handle back into play, put some other kind of, whether it be blue, you know, if I have to put them on those other handle assemblies, but I could do something like that if I want to. Can if I want to, but I don't want to. So I guess I'm gonna end this video just over an hour. I gotta finish putting up all of this junk. I'm gonna throw these handles all somewhere here shortly. I'm trying to clean this whole area up so when I come back, maybe, well, I don't know if I'll make a video tomorrow or not, but when I come back with the stuff here in the next few days, I should have a lot of the AliExpress baits that we've ordered should be starting to show up, and then a few of the handle assemblies and stuff like that should also be getting here. We'll dive into those, but before I get out of here, I was going to kind of talk about what other rods, if I need, what I might want to get, and I'm kind of out of a place for these other reels, you know, rods that I want to put these reels on, kind of deal. Because I do still have the X Pride. I mean, I've still got the feeling, but none of these reels, I don't want to use them for the feeling, which is basically a $100 rod. Awesome rod, but a $120 rod that I probably want to just put a cheaper reel on it. It's always ends up being, it's either just my shaky head rod a lot of times, or I use it for letting other people kind of fish kind of thing. So I don't want to, I mean, I could, but I don't want to stick a high dollar reel on it. This is basically what I had on. I've got the X Pride 610 medium for jerk baits or stuff like that. That I don't know. I don't like this reel because when I'm doing the jerk bait and that the way that is, the Steez is not the perfect reel for that right there. And that may be starting to show a sign of wear from just by doing that and fishing jerk baits a lot with that reel. But that little thing there kind of digs in, and this reel I don't think would. So I may possibility of putting the Zillion onto that. So let's look at that. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, most everybody and their brother knows what an X Pride is nowadays, and especially this one's supposedly real good for jerk baits, right? It's like a favorite of almost everybody from what he named, and this one's upside down, of course. Matt Allen from Tactical Bassin, just a bunch of people will. A lot of people like a 610 medium, but this one especially. But like, it would definitely, I would probably want to actually take the gold off. This is like a all silver and black rod, basically. But you know, we've got cork knobs; those look fine. I could almost actually switch the gold out with one of these Zillions and leave the, or one of these Steezes, leave the Zillion more or less almost stock, other than just with cork also, and then use it for, let me get a feel of it right here. Yeah, I think it would be a better one for jerk baits, but like there's also a lot of other things this rod's good for. Very like the 1.0, the 1. 1.5 square bills, just a lot of different stuff. This rod would be good. Actually, for shaky head, some of the bigger, there's just a lot of stuff. It's a very lightweight, sensitive rod. So I may go ahead and just utilize it maybe with this reel, or I don't know what for sure, but I do still have it now since I got that new Steez. That's what was my favorite thing. I had it on the blade, and I was throwing mainly chatterbaits and stuff like that because it does cast. It just works very good, but it's kind of like homeless right at the moment. Let me see if we can put some more of this stuff up. I got a whole. Oh, I still have some of these purple ones that I haven't ever used. I have one silver one, a few purple ones. We're just going to throw the gold one in there for now. And I'm just going to set this over there for now. And then all these, I think I had, other than this, stuffed in. All my bearings, washers, spacers, I try to keep them one bigger Ziploc just so I know where they're all kind of together. And then these are when I was trying to make my own, or any of that time you need something that's got like for a clicker or for the things that that these fit on kind of thing, and the clicker things that run them. I just some of the spare parts and junk for that. I guess I just had it in there because that's where I had it. So tools, I'll leave those sitting over there for now. I've still got this. The plan I was going to put, and I still might, the Super Destroyer, it's up in there. This may go on the Super Destroyer, but here's my plans. I think I want to get the Mad Bull. Comes with that same, it looks, and it's not far from the Super Destroyer. It's got the same carbon fiber handle. It's more of the power of the blade, but it's 7 foot. And technically, I don't really like the idea of 7 foot rods, but I do have one in the Tequila back rack. So the Mad Bull, I think I might put this reel on it. Keep the Super Destroyer just like it is with the Steez that's on it with the different handle assembly. Maybe even go back to this so I'll have the same matching things on the Super Destroyer and the Mad Bull. And then if I put that on the X Pride and keep it, I would basically only really need that rod, the Mad Bull, track one down. They don't have one right now on Digitaka. I don't know if there's anywhere else that has them. I don't want to pay $500, but they're like $350 set or $350, $375. Or if somebody's got a used one, I guess I could try to track down, look and buy one. So I'm kind of have still this reel that I don't really have anything right offhand. I kind of want to get into those Kage rods. I'm thinking about buying a Cage Kage. They look like Cage with the K, but they're actually KA then GE, I believe. So anyway, there's a little Kage is how I've heard it said. So I do still want to get either one or two reels. I want to get the new Tatula because it palms good and it's got boost. And I just put a clicker in it and then utilize it. It's something I could possibly even put it on the X Pride and then utilize this for something else. Maybe buy another higher end Destroyer P5 down the road and stick it on it. And then take or I guess I could get a P5 and stick that Tatula on there too. They're not far off in weight. They do roughly the same thing. This should have a little smoother feel. Like honestly, whatever this one, how much better this one should be in feel than this. The Tatula should be not far from that. But as you've seen, I got a lot of different bearings and stuff. So other than ordering a drag clicker kit, something like this from AliExpress, I could probably upgrade the bearings, change out to whatever handle assembly I want, and I'm going to be close to as smooth as this with that drag clicker. I should not be losing much from, because that new one, I think that, they've got the hyperdrive. They're adding a lot of stuff, and that's why it's $220. This is like $350, but I can get this for $225 from Digitaka. You can get these for like $460, $480. and the new one for the 445 or whatever, instead of paying like 750 and then crazy. And I don't think you could ever get these other than if you ordered them from Digitaka or somewhere Japanese places. I don't think they came to the States. Anyway, so I'm up in there with that. There's also the Salamandura reels that they've got this version of, and then there's the new 150. I think is a cross between the two new Tatulas. So I think the size of the spool is considered the 150, but I think it looks like it's the frame of the new Tatula 100, except they changed the top plate. Colors are totally different, so that's the way the Salamanduras are, but they changed the top plate just for looks to make it not quite look like the Tatula, because the Tatula's got those two little humps where they're trying to separate the looks of them, I think. So, and it does have a drag clicker. I've seen that the Tatula doesn't, no Tatula that I know of has ever come with one. Some of the Steezes, some of the Zillions, this definitely does. The new Steez does. The Steez CT, I believe, does. This Steez didn't. I added this one to the 3 that I have. So anyway, guys, I'm going to crank the heat back on down here and finish putting up what I was putting up, and I don't know, probably just drink another little drink of Fireball. Comment if you have any questions down below. Comment if you know of any used P5 Megabass rods for sale, because I would consider any of them, but preferably under 7 foot. I know Brew Tank wanted to do some trading in on. He's got the Dark Sleeper, so I definitely am interested in the Mad Bull. Of course, the Bait Finesse one, or any of those that are like 6'6" to 6'10" or 11. I would consider maybe some 7 foot ones, but I don't want anything any bigger or whatever. Like if I had the place to, I just don't have a place for it. But like if you guys know what I'm talking about, the Jungle 7 looks like an awesome, just big power rod. The handle like pops off and you pop it back on, but I don't want none of that stuff. No, actually, just when you said tackle trap, I haven't actually dealt and talked to those guys in forever, but I may check there. I just kind of watched some of the hookup tackle videos, tactical bassing, and then like just other people, random stuff. I hadn't dealt with, I even forget their names. Because back in the day, Tackle Trap I hadn't really messed with since I was still on some of the like Tackle Tour and Bass Boat Central forums is when I dealt with those guys. I actually when I went on a long trip, I was going to go to the Tackle Trap. I drove all the way down there. GPS was like running me in circles, and I asked these old people up above, like, because I was still way up. I'm like, I need to go down somewhere to get to a marina, because I said they're like a part of a marina or something. But it was so late and dark then that the old people told me where it was. But before I ever even found it, they were closed. And then I had something come up. I had to take off the next morning. I didn't have time to go track them down, but came close to going to there one time. And that was years back, and there's videos of it. If you go Plant City Bonsai, that footage of me there, that was on the same trip. I was headed down south to go there, and I was cutting back up through, and I was going through Atlanta around Georgia. It was kind of like a one-type trip to do this kind of bass and bonsai stuff. That was back in the day, and didn't make it because I couldn't get there in time. Just the way the timing was, I ended up not going. But yeah, they moved to New York City. That's like paste pecani sauce. Yeah, well, they weren't in New York when I knew them, but everybody's moving. If I could move, I'd move to Texas. I ain't gonna lie. I thought about Florida until all you gotta do is Google search Florida man, and then just read all the stuff that all them guys do down in Florida. I'm like, I ain't going to Florida. Awesome fish, awesome lakes, awesome water, awesome saltwater stuff. I'd probably go to Texas, so somewhere in Texas more than likely. Take my GUNS's and have at it, right? Get down there, Texas, and Anyway, yeah, I ain't gonna go off on no rant like that, but yeah, that's probably where if I had to move, basically got ran out of Missouri, it definitely wouldn't be Kansas. Probably be south, wouldn't be Arkansas. Mm-hmm. Got too many family members down there. No, I don't think I even know anybody from Arkansas. Wait, is Bill Clinton from Arkansas? Oh, shucks. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I'll let you know, and we'll be doing some live streams as soon as that stuff starts popping in from AliExpress, talking about it. I don't have any links to put up of where any of these certain, little knobs, handles, drag stars, all that kind of stuff, but it's all over AliExpress. You go to AliExpress, search Daiwa drag star, and they'll start popping. Click on this one, scroll down, and look, and handle assembly, Go Maxis, all that different stuff, and you'll see all kinds of stuff pop up. So, and then DRT varial handle, if you just are kind of first starting to get into that swim baity feel of stuff, you want a little bit thicker handles. You don't want to buy any; they're crazy expensive. But to give you ideas, they do make like an 88 millimeter little extra power handle. There's always some on eBay. There's a lot of places to buy the DRT stuff, or from their direct websites, or Working Class Zero, and all that kind of stuff. But stay tuned, guys. A lot more coming. Thanks for watching. Bass and Bonsai, back on YouTube, but we're stuck in this house. We'll see you later.